Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be making over 5 different finds from the thrift store. These are going to be super simple and easy to recreate. But before we get started, if you are new here, I would love to have you join us by subscribing down below. All right, let's jump right into this first DIY. If you are planning on creating a decor sign for your home, definitely check out the thrift store before you buy something. They have usually a ton of options. This one here was from the thrift store Unique, but I do also like to go to Goodwill. I think I ended up paying around $2 or $3 for the sign. It was originally a Hobby Lobby sign. It actually still had the sticker on the back, but I just really liked the size of it. Also, it does have a little hook in the back to hang it up on the wall, but I actually plan on using it just like this. I am going to lay it flat on my coffee stand, and I love that the side was thick enough that it can stand on its own. Another plus was that this kind of painted portion or the decorative portion was all flat. If you find a sign that does have some raised details, you can always just sand it down before painting. And this is the color that I'm going to be going with for this sign. I'm actually going to use this in a few DIYs today. I love this color. If I can find a link for it, I will leave it down below in the video description box, but the color is Smokey Beige, and it just has such a nice finish. I did actually really like the black detail on the side of the sign though, so I am going to go ahead, cover that up with painter's tape just so we can preserve that, but then I will be painting the entire front of the sign with 2 coats of this smoky beige color. Here is my sign fully dry and with that painter's tape removed, and what I'm actually going to be doing is just using my Cricut to cut out some vinyl for my sign here. I wanted to do a coffee bar sign that says but first coffee, and then in the bottom it's going to say or tea. I saw a really similar sign for sale, but I wanted to see if I could just DIY it myself. But another option if you don't have a Cricut is to just get some decals like this. These here are actually from Dollar Tree, and these would be really pretty. They're easy to cut and work with. You could add the flowers to the corners and then just stencil a saying in the middle of the sign. This is my cut vinyl, and I am just weeding it out right now. And to make this saying here, I actually just used Canva and made it for free, and then I used my Cricut to cut it out in black vinyl. And once I have it all weeded, I'm going to go ahead and just add my word coffee together. That way I can just kind of get a feel of where it's going to sit on the sign. And I did have to do it in 2 separate rows since it is going to be pretty long. So I'm going to go ahead and just add my transfer tape to the top and then just stick it onto my sign right in the middle. This DIY ended up being so fun and quick that it was just giving me a lot of ideas for the upcoming holidays. Like many of you know already, I am a huge Halloween fan, so I was already envisioning all of the different signs I'm going to make for Halloween. So I will definitely be back at the thrift store very soon looking for some more signs that I can make over. I have to say, it does actually feel a little bit strange to already be thinking about Halloween since it is just the start of summer, but I have to tell you guys that some of the stores near me are already putting out merchandise. Like Joann Fabrics, they have started to put out their stuff already. Some of their items do sell out really quickly and then they don't really restock, so you have to be fast with it. So I actually did take a trip over there the other day and I picked up a couple of items. I would really love to know though if you guys could let me know in the comments, when do you guys start to brainstorm for Halloween? Do you start early like me, or do you kind of wait towards the end of summer? Definitely let me know. And here is our sign all complete. So fast, so easy. I had this done in one afternoon and I just love how it turned out. And like I said, this is just an idea. You can definitely get super creative with this and make a ton of different signs. I just wanted something really quick and easy and simple to add to my coffee bar. In the summertime, I usually keep this area pretty neutral, so I just wanted something that would blend in, but kind of just help to fill out the space. So I do feel like it fills out the back nicely. And I actually did just have it leaning against the wall, so you could kind of see the bottom of it since my plant is blocking it, but you can also just stand this one up. So that is a nice thing about getting these signs with the larger edge. They do just stand up on their own. And this plant here was actually a new Target find. It is a faux plant, but it's really cute. I love the little base of it. If they still have this one in stock, I'll leave it listed down below. I actually just picked up a bunch of faux plants from Target just to kind of pop around the house, just to give it that little pop of greenery, especially for the summertime. I love to have florals and faux florals around the home. This next DIY is so simple, but definitely a must try. So at the thrift store, you will definitely find an aisle with a ton of glass pitchers. They usually have them in all different shapes and sizes. This one here was $2. An item that I just like to pick up when I see it, keep a few on hand because they make the perfect vase when you're giving flowers to somebody. That way, after the flowers are gone, they still have a gorgeous glass pitcher, and it was super inexpensive. So over here, I'm just showing you my clear love of white pitchers. I love to use them for my faux florals in my home. So that's actually what I'm going to be turning this one into. And it is a great hack. For just a few dollars, you can get a beautiful white pitcher to add some either real flowers to or faux florals. When you get one of these larger white pitchers, they're usually at least $20 or so. But this way, you get a gorgeous look for less. Like I said, a few dollars for the pitcher, and then I personally always have white spray paint on hand. But if you don't, you can definitely find some spray paint at Walmart, and they have some wonderful options that are only a few dollars. So this next item here is technically not from the thrift store. This one was given to me by a friend. Now, they had this in their basement for many years, and they said, go ahead, give it a second life. Do whatever you want to it. So please don't hate me because I will be painting over this adorable bunny's face just to kind of update him a little bit. The wood color just didn't really go with my home, so I will be painting him. I do think he's adorable, but he does just need a little bit of an update. I did just want to include it in this video though, since this type of item is definitely something you could find at Goodwill or Unique or any of your local thrift stores. So I'm going to go in again with that smoky beige color just because I absolutely loved how that sign turned out. So I thought that it would be perfect for the bunny. I did go ahead, sand it first, wipe it all down, and give it 2 coats. And here's how it turned out. Now, for the sake of time, I am just going to leave it like this, but after seeing the footage, I thought he did look a little bit plain, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just paint that carrot and add a little bit more detail to it. Just to give you an idea of how I will be styling it, I'm just taking a few of my faux florals that I kind of had laying around here and stuck them in the back. I'm not going to keep it like this, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how I plan on using it. Decorative plates are definitely a thrift store staple. I find them in every single thrift store that I go to, and they usually have so many different ones to choose from. So if you see a few that you really like, but you don't want to get a whole set, or you just don't really have use for it, I have a really simple DIY for you. I'm also going to be using these mini candlesticks. You can usually find these at a craft store. These ones here are from Hobby Lobby. So it says $3.99 on the pack, but I think they were 50% off when I purchased them, so around $2 or so. And you do get 5 in a pack. I'm just going to go ahead and use 2 today. And I'm going to be painting these in this gold color. Since my plates do have a lot of gold detail on them, I figured that these would match those perfectly. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to attach them to my plates. And to do this, I do need a permanent glue. I'm going to be using E6000. And when you're doing this, you definitely want to do this in steps to make sure that everything is adhering properly and it's going to be super secure. So I'm adding my first candlestick to the center of my first plate. Now I'm going to let that dry for a few hours before I move on to my next step. So for the next part, I'm going to add some glue to the top of the candlestick and then add on top my middle plate. This part can be a little tricky to get in the center, but luckily the E6000 kind of gives you a little bit of wiggle room. It doesn't dry right away, so you can kind of play around with the placement until you're happy with it. And while that's drying for a few hours, I'm actually going to go ahead, take my second candlestick, flip my smallest plate upside down, and glue that one. After a few hours, once both of those were dry, I went ahead and glued them together. And here's how it turned out. So simple, but I love it, and I definitely envision using this at an upcoming tea party. When I was at the thrift store, I kept walking up and down this one aisle and looking at this little lamb. I thought he was so cute, but I wasn't really sure if I was going to pick him up or not. Finally, I added him to my cart, and I'm so happy that I did. So we're going to be repainting him just to kind of give him a little bit of an update and I just wanted to help him blend in better with my decor. So the first thing I'm doing is just cutting out that ribbon. We're going to add in a different one later on. For my paint colors, I am going to be using spray paint, but you can definitely use chalk paint for something like this. But I just love how quick and easy the spray paint is, and we are going to be going in with that same smoky beige color for the wagon, and then for our little lamb, I'm going to go ahead and just paint him white, but I will be going over the face and the feet later on with some chalk paint. This white spray paint is a semi-gloss, which is going to give the matte face and feet a nice contrast to the fluffy fur. So I'm going to go ahead and just do 2 coats on each side. I didn't sand it beforehand. You definitely could if you have an object that's a little bit shinier. Luckily, this did adhere very nicely. So now for the face, I'm going to go ahead with a small paintbrush and just paint it with this black chalk paint. This one is from Dollar Tree. Once I painted it, I did see that it was looking a little bit sparse, so I did let it completely dry, and I ended up doing 3 coats to get that full coverage look. Project like this would also be perfect for a kid's room or a baby's room. If you have a cutting machine like a Cricut, you could just cut out the kid's name in vinyl, add it to the wagon or to the sheep body. Both would be adorable. But I'm just adding some twine here to connect our wagon right back to that lamb. And now for the back, you can add anything you like. I didn't really have anything on hand, so I just took some Spanish moss from one of my faux plants and added it to the back of the wagon to kind of give it the look of hay. And here's how it turned out. I just think that this one is so cute. I'm definitely going to have him propped up on one of my bookshelves. I know he will definitely bring a smile to my face whenever I see him. And that is everything for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed these thrift store makeovers. I love going to the thrift store and looking for really fun and unique treasures. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely let me know. I would love to make more of these. And if you are not yet subscribed, you can subscribe to my channel by just clicking on my picture right here. Thank you so much for watching.